On the UFC 259, a lot of attention is paid to Israel Adesanya losing his first fight as a member of the UFC. But as we do with this podcast, we don't necessarily focus on the big story. We focus on the more interesting stories. And there were two very interesting stories during the undercard of the main event and co-main event, which was Amanda Nunes and I'm forgetting the other woman's name, Megan. I'm blanking on her name right now. I apologize.
Now, say her name right, because I'm going to have to stop you right there, okay?
What?
I'm going to have to stop you right here.
What?
Why was that woman, knowing she was about to lose, wearing the KC Monarch shirt, trying to embarrass all of us?
Oh, her name is Megan Anderson. All right.
Megan Anderson, okay. Trying to embarrass all of us.
Fight lasted, I believe, 2 minutes and 3 seconds. I think the baby was, Amanda Nunes' baby was in the ring longer than Megan Anderson. And I don't even mean to be disrespectful. I actually think her baby was actually in there longer. But going to the undercard, there was a fight between two men, Tim Elliott and Jordan Espinosa. We're not really going to talk about the fight because Tim Elliott blew Jordan Espinosa out. But towards the end of the second round, Tim Elliott asked Jordan Espinosa, as he was pinning him to the ground and beating the crap out of him, he said, "I heard you choke the girl in 2018. Are you a woman beater?" Espinosa responded, "You don't know the whole story." And then Elliott responded, "I know enough." And then Elliott responded, "You don't know." Espinosa responded, "You don't know shit." Before we explain the rest of the story, anytime somebody accuses you of domestic violence and you respond, "You don't know the whole story," that is a horrible response. That's not going to get you anywhere. But even if it's true that you don't know the whole story, but those questions stem from Tim Elliott basically being sent a photo from a woman who he wouldn't reveal the name of her having choke marks on her neck. Espinosa's team then issued a statement after the fight saying, "We will not be commenting on Tim Elliott's accusations. It is extremely unfortunate that an athlete who has no information of the situation is given a platform to recklessly slander another athlete with no credible information other than a message. It sets a dangerous precedent allowing this type of behavior to make headlines. Words matter." That's a lot. I'm just still stuck on the fact that he's casually beating the crap out of him and he's asking him about domestic violence allegation. Like it's a casual conversation.
That's a lot.
It is.
I would ask y'all if y'all have ever seen anything like this in sports, but I don't know if there's a correct answer to that.
The closest I've seen to like a casual conversation like that, like, is when Mayweather was fighting somebody, and they kept on asking him like who he thought was gonna win that Sunday in football. But I mean, I'm not saying like that's I've never seen. Yeah, it's like casual conversation, or like, Muhammad Ali say my name fight, but but that's different. Like, to talk about like somebody's domestic abuse allegations, I don't know. That's tough.
And this was on ESPN Plus. This wasn't like this was not being aired.
Where was that energy for Greg Hardy though? That's what I want to know.
Different sport.
No, Greg Hardy fought in the UFC.
Well, these two men are flyweights, so those two men specifically are not going to be fighting Greg Hardy.
Fair. I don't know what to make of that because I don't know the allegations.
All we have is him saying that he got sent a picture of the girl who has choke marks on her neck. The biggest issue of domestic violence that they've run in outside of Greg Hardy was when a fighter by the name of War Machine, I don't remember this man's real name, nearly beat his girlfriend to death. And the reason why it became such a big story is that his girlfriend is how do I put this plight? She's an adult actress, very talented adult actress.
That's right, I remember that.
Yeah. Yep. So she nearly got beaten to death. That's the closest thing we have to this, but no one was having a casual conversation as they beat him up about said allegation. And I'm not laughing at the allegation. I'm so stuck on the tone of the conversation. Like, they could have been talking about football, they could have been talking about politics. The tone of the conversation as you're getting your ass kicked is.
I'm just like, how do you even go about the thought process of, yeah, I'm gonna totally ask this dude this question while I'm kicking his ass?
Yeah, nah. I just like, that's just as bad as Conor McGregor wearing that CJ Watson jersey.
Yeah.
That was crazy. that was nuts. For those who don't know, the Conor McGregor and Draymond Green got into an altercation on Instagram because he was wearing the Warriors number 23 jersey and Draymond Green's number 23. But it was a CJ Watson jersey. And CJ Watson was, I think, Floyd Mayweather's girlfriend's ex-boyfriend, right?
Something in that vicinity.
Yeah. Something in that vicinity. But Floyd Mayweather had been accused of abusing that girl. And so they kind of made a joke. In my opinion, Conor McGregor made a joke out of that situation.
Yeah.
As opposed to like spreading light to the victim. So I think this is just as bad as doing it. I'm not saying those were the intentions, but I'm just more of the what happened. Yeah.
So but also beyond that, Jordan Espinosa, his contract ran out with the UFC and it was not renewed. But I think it had more to do with the fact that he wasn't than it had to do with that.